Juicy people, every now and then a recipe comes around that can only be described as Pearfection. See what I've done there? Yes, no prizes for guessing that there are pears within this recipe. Actually, I was going to call it Simple Pear Necessity. You know, Mother's Nature's recipe, which would have been better in hindsight, I should have done, but it's already in the book. There's another recipe I did, which was pear and parsnip, but I've added in some different ingredients here. You're gonna need a couple of juicy pears, you're gonna need an apple, you're gonna need a lime, but you want half a lime, peeled, leave the pith on, because that's where a lot of the nutrients are to be found. Parsnip, like I said, really random ingredient, but if you've had the pear and parsnip recipe before, that standalone, you'll know the combination works beautifully. That's on the 5 pounds in 5 days challenge if you've ever done that. Cucumber, I add cucumber to most recipes. Why? Natural diuretic, it's cooling. It also is an incredibly cheap vegetable fruit that produces an enormous amount of juice, so it's worth adding in. And then of course we add the kicker. It's always something. Lime's a bit of a kicker here, but I've added in some mint as well. You don't need your blender for this, you only need your juicer. Takes seconds to make, even in a masticating or slow juicer or cold press juicer. 3 names for the same juicer, what do you know? Pears can go in first. What I would do, regardless of the juicer really, especially if you've got a fast juicer, feed the mint. And by the way, look, that was a small handful of mint. If you want a really minty flavor, then add a bit more in. By the way, the mint combination with the parsnip and the pear in this particular recipe is going to blow your taste buds out the water. If you've never tried this combination before, you are going to love me for putting this in, especially in the 5-2 juice diet. It's funny because as I'm literally filming this, as we're filming this, I'm on the 5-2. On is a bit, it sounds like I'm on a diet when actually it's just become part of my diet. But the 2 days a week that I've chosen, this is one of those days. So it's great for me for filming because I'll be drinking this as part of it. So happy days. Apple goes in, then we've got the pear, and then of course we've got the thing that really sets the recipe apart, which is the parsnip. It was a turnip for Baldrick. But for some reason, when I look at a parsnip, I still think of Baldrick. If you're from another country, Baldrick, it's Blackadder, doesn't matter. But anyway, the guy that played Baldrick, Tony Robinson, actually, he's a huge juicing fan. He lost tons of weight doing one of my programs as well. Coincidence. So Baldrick, what do you know? Baldrick's into juicing. Who would have thought such a thing? You want this kind of size one, but if you want a bigger one, then it's up to you. But you know, an average size parsnip going in. Now again, I'm using a cold press juicer. I'm only having juice for 2 days a week. So therefore, I want to make sure that the quality of the nutrition is up to standard. So the produce I get, I try and look for the best quality produce that I can. I also make sure that a juicer can extract every last ounce. However, the most common juices still are the fast ones. So whatever juice you're using, at least you're using one. That's all I'm saying, at least you're using one. There's the juice. Now again, many of you are going to be having this on the go because obviously you're living on juice for 2 days a week as part of the 5-2 juice diet. But I'm just going to show you what it looks like. There it is. It's nice and light. It's going to be incredibly refreshing. You've got the mint in there, which of course, I used to suffer from very, very bad hay fever, asthma, those kind of conditions. And mint really just helps the breathing. And apple juice as well. Study done on apple juice as well, in particular with asthmatics. With the apple combined in there, with the mint combined in there as well, then you've got something that's really good for those kind of conditions. But the overall flavor of this, because of the parsnip, and the cooling. Oh, you can really taste the mint. I didn't put that much mint in. That's what I like about cold pressed juices because it extracts even so much from that. But the parsnip has just balanced that out beautifully. Oh, do you know what? If you are kicking off the 5-2 juice diet challenge, you're on week 1, you're on day 1. If you ever needed a convincer that this is the way to go and you're not going to be deprived on this, then this, not Pear Necessity, which is what I should have called it, but this Pearfection is a great way to kick off the 4-week challenge. Cheers, everyone. Oh, it's one of the best. One of the best.